guys, welcome back to the Football Showdown channel. It's a special video. It's the title show where we'll be having we'll be having hosts from another team where they talk about their own team and we make combined 11 and we discuss a lot more pressing factors as well. As you guys can see, it's a new location. I'm back home, back in Qatar with my friend as well.
Hello.
Yeah. So the last time we spoke was 1 year back, but before that, it was almost a decade since we've connected. There will be no bad blood. It is just life, and yeah. If you are in NRI, you'll probably understand the issues of having a base, but it's not really your base. Anywho, hi Vardhan.
Hello, how you doing? So yeah, one of the only few Man City fans you'll find around, and if I'm just running along with the joke, it's just not true though. But I'll run along with the joke that I'm one of the few ones. Yeah, I agree. Well, one of the few very dedicated ones, I would say, for sure.
That's true. That's true. Like, I mean, there are many City fans who have come up from the United or Liverpool who just can't take it anymore. So this guy has been like genuine for a while. So I can almost vouch for him that he's a proper City fan. And to be honest, not just running the joke, I just know two other proper City fans.
Fair
probably
enough.
because I've not gone out my way to find more City fans as such. So yeah, how is City? What do you think is happening there? What are the issues?
Well, yeah, but I'd like to say I live in Manchester to start with, so I guess there's a lot going on around in Manchester City, so I would recommend anyone, if you want to go to Manchester, go. I know United's there, and City is there. Both are fine. It's still football culture. You love it. So just putting it out there for everyone to know. So yeah, I mean, pressing issues for City, I guess. I think you've already been seeing a lot of news around this international break and people, well, some of them played one. I think the Portuguese team was it. That had quite a few people backing off and not going in back again. So I guess, I mean, if I'm being very honest, they're probably not all that injured. They just, they must have had some conversations with their clubs and they've just called them back, haven't they? So I know Bernardo Silva's not, well, he's gone back, and Ruben Dias has probably gone back as well. While we're recording this video, I have not heard of any news of Haaland or Oscar Bob from Norway. So I guess the only pressing issues you have in City at the moment, because we don't have any big injury as such. I just know that Grealish hasn't been in for a long time. And there's obviously that big argument around, you have Jeremy Doku, do you even need Grealish anymore? Grealish doesn't do anything, he just passes back. But I have a very strong point of view about it, to be honest. I love Grealish and I would take him over Doku any single day of the week.
Might be a very unpopular opinion, but yeah, he's been saying this since Doku has come in as well. It's just not a recent thing as well.
I guess it's not about me thinking Doku doesn't have potential. He sure does have potential, and I guess since the first few games that he's had, he has kind of well, he's not as aggressive as he used to be, and he knows to control the tempo a little bit better. But I just don't think his work rate or his physicality is anywhere close to what Grealish offers. And you might think that Grealish doesn't score that much, but he sure does create a lot of chances. I'm not sure of that statistic, but there was quite a clear statistic about Grealish being one of the biggest chance creators in the team after KDB. So if KDB is not playing, and if you're not the only one relying on KDB, Grealish is the one you rely on. And he controlled the tempo in the left wing. It might not be the most sexy football, if that's what you're trying to put out there, but he does the job, and he does it very, very well. And City is quite, I guess one of the biggest pressing issues about City's defense this year has been we get hit on the counter quite a lot. It's happened quite a lot, and trust me, I'm scared of Vinicius, and that's going to be happening at some point.
Oh yeah, you still run against Madrid as well, right?
Exactly. I know Walker's done a very good job last year, but Walker seemed very off of it this year for some reason. I don't know if I quite trust him against Vinicius this year.
Okay.
I love Akanji, and you might want to give it a shot with Akanji, but after what happened to Fernandinho 2 years or 3 years ago when he tried to play right back temporarily, even though, to be fair, Akanji's been playing right back and just being versatile across that for quite a while, so it's not as random as it was for Fernandinho. And I guess a lot of people don't quite give City a lot of credit for buying Akanji. It came out of nowhere, to be fair. Like when we bought Akanji for less than 20 million or somewhere around that number, quite late. And I don't think people give City a lot of credit for making good purchase. And he's been one of the starters and solid rotation parts as well for a long time now. So I love Akanji, and I would trust him in the same position, because I know Walker had a hamstring injury last time. He played for England like yesterday or day before, I'm not sure.
Came off, I think, after 30 minutes.
He came after 20 minutes. I mean, I thought that was a great game, only because he was going up against Vinicius, Rodrigo, and all the other players. but that's main because that's kind of the matchup that will be happening in due time as well against Real Madrid. So I thought it'd be like a very good time to see what it would look like. Even though I will say England's team is I support England. I would want England to win the Euros, 100% sure, but not with Southgate. But that's another topic. That's not for this tab or another channel. But if we ever do one during the Euros, I'll let you know what I have against Gareth Southgate.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like during the summertime, I think with the Premier League done, I will be probably streaming Euros. We will be having a lot of discussion about the Euros as well. But speaking about Manchester City, so before we talk about City, so I watched this episode on Overlap where Gary Neville spoke about how teams, or like how the big teams, like how Ferguson used to like call up the England manager or respective country managers and tell them that no, I want this specific player to like come back. I don't want him to play more than like 30 or 40 minutes. Or sometimes there are like a thing or like a deal between managers, between clubs and the country. So maybe that could be the reason why KDB hasn't travelled with Belgium, or like how some of the Portuguese players have come back. Or even like Saka pulled out of the England squad
before even
before anything happened.
I definitely think it's probably not just a City thing. I mean, I'm sure Mikel's doing the same thing. I call him Mikel for some reason. I don't know why. It's very casual, isn't it? He felt like a part of the family for the longest time when he was in City. So I just called him Mikel.
Right.
Big Mikel. But no, he's done a great job. But I'm sure he's involved in the same conspiracy as every other, maybe big manager of a big team. I wouldn't say anyone like Vincent Kompany has much of a say in well, not that a lot of Burnley players would get selected into the English team.
I think Trafford was the only goalkeeper.
But he is a brilliant goalkeeper, to be fair. He played for the under-21s and he did a fantastic job. He's also a City product, isn't he? So I will always back him. But I guess the bias aside, Trafford is a brilliant keeper.
He's a keeper.
He's just not in a great team.
True.
So, but no, it is, if you're in a big team and there's a massive game coming up like the one we're talking about, I think it plays into it. And I know Rice is captaining the next one, so clearly
there's enough
Arteta's not
hype.
talked about Rice, and there's some hype about Rice captaining the team. But I feel like Rice isn't all that injury prone anyways, is he?
No, he's just had an issue. I think his lower back issue since the Luton game where we won in the more dramatic possible ways.
Oh yeah.
But I think since then on, I think he's had about like 3 to 4 games maximum he's missed. And when he has missed that, we've always had issues maintaining control in the midfield. So I think many people will say that Rice has not done that much for the Arsenal, like how Arsenal were like last season. But the most important factor with Rice isn't just his ability to play the game properly, but his availability. Like unlike Thomas Partey, how he has been a proper issue for Arsenal. Like they can say that on his day he's better than Rodri, on his day and everything. But to get him into his on his day, you're not paying about like those many pounds or those many euros just for him to have 1 or 2 good games or on his day kind of games. So Declan Rice, he probably didn't improve the team as much as how we were like when compared to last season. But
no.
I mean, I'm just saying like how the media runs the thing. I'm just like talking like how.
I mean, he's English at the end of the day, and a lot of podcasts that are popular. Well, most of them they are Sky Sports, Gary Neville, Jamie Carragher. You know what's it called? The one where it's Micah Richards, Jamie Carragher, and
that's football. That's football. The podcast. The British.
No, it's the show where they have Kate Abdo, Thierry Henry, and Michael Richards and Jamie Carragher.
CBS,
CBS,
Champions show.
It's all based off. I know it's an American channel, but they're all Michael Richards and Jamie Carragher. At least they're English. Kate Abdo's English as well. So, I think she's from Manchester.
Oh yeah, she's from Manchester. Yeah, that's.
She's a United fan as well. Last I remember.
I mean, okay.
But either way, coming back to the point, I mean. Thomas Partey, I mean, see, I think I've had this conversation here before, but I know Declan Rice would have some sort of he's probably available for the largest part, but I think Partey is the better overall player. I think he's more physical than Declan Rice. He's better defensively than Declan Rice. He knows how to play the right ball, but he's not healthy.
He's not healthy. At the same time, I think to get into his pride, he takes about like 3 to 4 games. Then he'll have another like 2 to 3 good games, and then he's gone again. That's what I think. That's why we kind of like went off last season when we completely derailed. Like not just him, we had Saliba gone, we had Tomiyasu gone, so our backline was again plagued with injuries. So yeah, I agree. I think the other key difference between Partey and Rice is that Partey has a good progressive ball when compared to Rice.
Oh yeah.
Rice is more like that guy who keeps it ticking, but Partey is the one who can like, break lines with his passes and all of that. So the next part of the segment that I really want to talk about is the fear factor. So who do you think City will try to be at their part to make sure that this player at Arsenal isn't going to affect City that much in the game?
Uh, I'm still not entirely sure about Martinelli's injury status, but I think we've had a fair share of struggles against fast wingers,
Right.
and Saka is technically very good. Is he the fastest winger around?
No.
Probably not so much.
True.
Has Ake defended him very well in the past? Yes, 100%. So I don't think I don't think he's my fear factor.
Okay.
He can be 100%. But if you're just gonna ask who's that one player I'm really scared of, so it's gonna be Martinelli. Could be Havertz, because historically he's always.
I'm so glad you told Havertz, because every Arsenal fan tells me that we need Martinelli, we need this. I genuinely feel City's kryptonite has been Havertz. I said this even when we somehow won with a scrappy goal at the Emirates.
Yeah.
When I went for my part-time job, my roommate is a City fan. I told him, just wait for Havertz to come on because he's your kryptonite. And guess who assists that goal? It's most shittiest goal, but guess who assisted that goal? It was Havertz.
Yeah, I mean, it's a goal regardless, but fair play. I mean, I feel like every team has one day where they break a curse. Did City beat Tottenham at their home in the FA Cup this year? I think they did.
I think they did. Yeah. Right,
how do I not know this? But we broke a curse. Hopefully, we can beat them again when we play in the Premier League. But
that's the only time I'm ever going to support Tottenham. By the way, there's no.
As a City fan, Tottenham is the scariest team we play every year,
True.
And that's the only game I do not look forward to. But yeah, I mean, coming back to fear factor, I think it's got to be Martinelli. Walker's, you would say that Walker can be good against Vinicius. Why are you scared of Martinelli? Because Vinicius is better than Martinelli. I mean, that's not a conversation. But Martinelli is very, very. He's skillful. We saw what Luis Diaz did to Walker, and Luis Diaz, if he could finish, Liverpool would have had something.
True.
Who do you think would it be for you guys?
For me, I think many people are somewhat like there's been an insane debate like how Saka is like better than Foden and on the international stage, or how Saka is having a great output, and how like Foden's best season is almost equal to Saka's and all that. But Foden, I think either he's not utilized that much by Pep, or like there are some times where the output is not always the factor that is going to tell if it's a good performance or not. Like if you had like players like Rodri and all of that, it's not always the goals or the assists that will make sure that he's having a good game. It's the kind of game or the kind of tempo that you set for the team. I think Foden will be the important factor when we face City, especially for the fact that KDB might be injured, might not be injured. So if everything goes well, it's obviously going to be KDB, because I think he's always had an issue. He's always had a grudge whenever facing any top 16. I think Foden is going to be the fear factor for me. You can tell me otherwise. Like Foden's first touch probably the best in the entire Premier League. Foden may not be the best person to get you the output or something in recent times, but when he plays, I think is always going to be an issue when facing him. So I think Foden is going to be a fear factor for me.
I think with Foden he's really good in those half and small gaps. So he can kind of create an opening where it doesn't exist.
Exactly.
And I think that's what kind of differentiates him from the rest of the people.
A clear example of that, where you said create a chance out of nothing, was the one against Inter Milan in that final.
Oh yeah.
That turn at that. I just couldn't believe.
The thing is, he does those quite often. I think he did one against Newcastle where he just flicked it behind his leg and he was through on goal.
True.
He probably just needs to work a little bit more on his composure and finishing. Like he has some good finishes on him, but it's one of those where you can have like a plethora of really, really good shots and finishes, but you're kind of missing the ones that you would expect a good player to score. So once you're through and you've done everything right, he kind of just doesn't do the end bit. So I guess that just means he has a lot more to improve. And at the end, people forget the name's been around quite a while now, but he's still not. He's still very young.
What is it? 23,
24 is that tops? Yeah, so
probably like Saka and him are the same age. So we've spoken about the different fear factors and our opinions about like how our present teams are doing. I think it's only right that we discuss about the combined 11. Let's just talk about it swiftly, not like make it too obvious about who we prefer. So goalkeeping position. First thing, let's decide what kind of formation are we going. 4-3-3.
I think because we preferred. I think both teams kind of have a double pivot situation. We could go for a 4-2-3-1.
4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
Okay, 4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
And are we choosing players based on present form or like historically? I feel present form is more right. Historically,
I think just for the context of this game, it's fine. If you were to do a season one, maybe that would be a bit different.
Season
Just
wise,
for
I think.
just in form in the last few games, I guess it makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Form and availability. Okay.
Yeah, form and availability. Yeah.
So
for sure.
goalkeeper, who's your choice?
See, I think I would say Raya, and that's the part of me that's not biased. I think Raya's been in great form. He was amazing for in penalties, and Raya is probably more likely to get your clutch shortstop.
Okay.
I'm not discrediting Edison because he made some good saves in the Inter Milan final, and he was very clutch for us. And I like Edison. I mean, but Edison's not even going to be playing.
And centre back pairing.
I feel like when you take form into account, we're only 1 point behind you, realistically speaking. And we've been leaking goals, but there are some players on there who will come up with clutch blocks. They might not be the fastest one, and we're talking about. So yeah, he's gonna be there. He's gonna be there.
Did you actually plan that? Did you actually?
Actually didn't plan that, but I think now that we're talking about it, and because I love Ruben, if you were to do purely out of recent form, it's probably Gabriel and Saliba. But I think Diaz has been good. But if you're gonna stick to centre backs, I might give a strange shout out here.
Guardiola.
Akanji just doesn't seem to make errors. He has a good progressive pass in him. He has the pace to catch up with most players.
Okay.
And even if he doesn't, I guess you probably have to understand that some player can be really fast.
Right.
But Akanji is also 6'3". So his steps are
6'3".
longer.
Okay. He doesn't. He's 6'3".
Yeah, he is around that. He's massive. I've seen him play live and he looks massive. Like,
makes sense.
if you're taller, you can and you have pace, you will catch up to someone who's shorter and has pace. Short steps and long steps are going to mean something, right?
Right.
And he is also physical. So one slight bump onto someone who's shorter, and he can kind of get them off their stride a little bit. That's not a foul if it's shoulder to shoulder, but he can do it because he's physical. But if we're just doing centre backs, it's a strange one because Pep plays people out of formation. So I don't know if it's the best to put him in that right back slot. But what do you think? Do you think we should stay with him as centre back? Because that's what he actually is.
I think when he played as a wing back, either on the left or on the right. I think he's been more effective on the left or on the right than being as a
definitely.
So I think if you said like John Stones and Magalhaes, we do not know if John Stones will start.
Do you know what? You brought up a strong point here. John Stones will start. Unless he gets injured in this England game, that's beyond
what I'm
Tuesday.
trying to say. Like, not start, I meant like if he's going to be fit enough to start. That's all.
I say John Stones is sensational though, isn't he?
Right. Last season, the way he used to come into the midfield and boss that thing.
Would you take him over one of Saliba or Gabriel in this?
Out of form, I would remove Saliba and put John Stones.
You know what? I think that's a shout because Gabriel's been really effective from set pieces.
Exactly.
And he's always a threat there as well. So how about we say Gabriel and John Stones?
John Stones.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Left back. Interesting.
Is it Kivior at the moment playing left back for you?
Yeah.
Gotta give it to Ake.
Not Akanji? Okay, don't tell me Akanji.
Ake made a very blatant error against Liverpool where he just passed the ball to Edison. A lot of people are going to blame Edison, but the pass was just horrid. And it's Darwin Núñez. He's pretty quick. Like, you can't expect Edison to just get there.
True.
He's quick and he's always very... Especially when it's coming out of goal and getting the ball. He's one of the best to do it.
True.
Sweeper keeper, we would call it. But that was completely on Ake, and he doesn't make those mistakes. It usually comes up with clutch goals rather than clutch mistakes leading to goals. So I think Ake is gonna start purely because it's Saka.
Okay.
Akanji, I don't think has played left back whilst playing Arsenal, so I don't think he'd want to change something that's not broken. So it could be Akanji because he was brilliant in that Champions League run when Ake got injured and he was playing left back in cover and he was very good. And sometimes probably having an opposite-footed left back helps because we've had cancer there for the longest amount of time.
That's true.
Plus Akanji, he might not be that effective offensively, but he is very solid defensively. So I guess Ake versus Kivior is the question here, really.
You know what? I have a suggestion. What if you have Akanji on the left and Ben White on the right?
I think that could be historically, but we're talking form, and I know Ake made a mistake, but Ake is in good form.
I think Ben White is in great form.
But we are talking left back. Ben White is right back.
That is true. I'm trying to put Akanji. I'm just trying to put Akanji because I genuinely thought for like 15 million, he got that much quality. I'm genuinely in awe. Like that's one player that even when we were facing you guys, I was like, Akanji, man.
How about we say, for the sake of people playing in the positions that they would likely play in, we have Ake and Ben White. But who do we feel works best in a combined 11, irrespective of formations and ignoring what their actual positions are on the left or the right side? We could just put in Ben White on some side and Akanji on some side, because those are the best players in those positions. But if I was to just say outright who's the best left back amongst Kivior and Ake, Ake is...
He was just coming into his thing, but...
100%.
But I don't think when you compare to Ake has been like consistently playing well on the left. So
100%. Ake has just been brilliant, hasn't he?
So midfield?
So because we're playing two DMs...
Right. Rodri and Rice.
Yeah. Okay. I think Jorginho is fine, Kovacic is great for their own teams, but if you're just doing a combined 11, Rodri and Rice is quite easy.
It's
very easy. Yeah. And I guess...
Who's that creative midfielder?
So the left attacking midfielder or right wing for you to say?
Right wing, I would say Saka. If Mahrez was there, Mahrez, but I think right wing, it has to be Saka.
The thing is, Foden plays right wing as well, and now it's a question.
But he's best on his left. On left wing?
No.
Yeah.
No. He's not. No. He started playing left wing, but I think for the largest time this season and probably a much part of last season, he was playing right wing, drifting centrally when needed.
Exactly.
This season he's still playing right wing but drifting centrally a lot more. So what happens? I don't know if this just very briefly, but because De Bruyne is the main cam, he makes plays through the middle.
Okay.
But I've seen a lot of Foden drifting into the midfield, making spaces in the middle, and De Bruyne coming out wide and whipping good crosses in.
Okay.
So I think that's kind of where it works. But I think on paper, Foden's always on the right. So it's a conversation of Foden and Saka. And I know it's like a big debate. And I don't know if I'd be ready to agree if Saka should be, because Foden's in sensational form. So
form, yeah, that is.
So
we're talking about form as well. But
I know,
can you imagine a team in a combined 11 where Saka is not in the combined 11?
well, it's the same. It's the same vice versa. Is it given what Foden's been doing this season, even in clutch games? Where would you not put him? Because form or not, De Bruyne is going into that camp spot over Odegaard, in my opinion. And Odegaard's been in great form, but I just feel
I want to have that conversation because we are talking in form. In form, I think Odegaard has been good. But yeah, KDB, the way he came off the bench...
Am I wrong in saying KDB already has more assists than Odegaard this season? Even though he's been off out of for 6 months. I think he is. He's already above quite a few players actually. So
I mean, you guys have players who can score goals. Remember that big stretch that he created a chance but didn't score anything.
Yeah, I mean it's just. I mean, I think just saying that. I know De Bruyne had quite a poor game for his standards. I still don't get why he was subbed off so early, because he can make chances even when he's not having a good game. So I didn't understand that decision from Pep. But I think even form-wise, I just think De Bruyne can impact a game unlike anyone. But I love Odegaard. Don't get me wrong. I love Odegaard. He's amazing. He can make... He kind of reminds me of David Silva. Because he can dribble. He can definitely dribble. Has a great left foot on him, just like David Silva did.
He can contain the ball.
He can score goals when needed. He has a good long shot on him. Can score those, those toe poke goals that he gets sometimes. But he's in the right place to score them. So Odegaard can do that. He can squeeze passes in gaps, which is it's an amazing trait, and we've kind of missed that for a long time, haven't we? David Silva, we don't need to talk. He is one of the best midfielders the Premier League has ever seen. So, yeah, I think it's a conversation of what kind of play you're looking. But if you were talk about just Kevin De Bruyne, man, he will make chances no matter what kind of a game he's having, and this is against Arsenal.
That is true.
So you could probably pin this person and be like, I said this, and he might end up having a bad game, but that won't necessarily change what generally you would feel about Kevin De Bruyne. This is Kevin De Bruyne we're talking about.
True.
So if he stays on that,
without KDB is like, it does make sense.
yeah, but I guess if you're trying to be just kind of bring this to some sort of an equilibrium and be like, if you want to agree on KDB and I don't want to agree on Foden, we could do KDB and Saka. But if you do Odegaard, then I'm definitely going for Phil Foden on the right. How about we do? It's really hard.
Saka. You can Saka and KDB. Yeah, it's fine. Saka and KDB.
Let's just So I'm sorry, Phil. You're amazing. You've been amazing this season, but
sacrifice.
He's a bit stubborn, and I try to be rational, so I'm not even pressuring him into putting someone in. It's just a good conversation to have.
Left wing.
This is hard because I feel like, it's Martinelli.
See, Martinelli is a good player, but if you talk about form, has he been in form? He's not had the right output.
Well, I guess
he's been doing all the dog work, he's doing all the defensive work, he's making all the runs, he's doing everything. But in terms of output, he's been nothing. But again, on your left side, who's there?
Could be Doku.
Okay.
Because he's been okay. I think he's had some unfair criticism go his way. It's his first season. So it could be Doku, it could be anyone. But I feel like both our teams' left wings haven't really been on par. So if you were to take form, you just have to choose one who's been less bad than the other.
You want to just give it to the comment section and let them decide?
Yeah, I could do. But what would you say? Would you say Doku? Would you feel fine with Doku on there?
No, I personally wouldn't have Doku in my team.
Yeah. Coming to striker.
See,
Havertz
has been probably the answer for us since the Dubai trip.
Yeah.
But would I take him over Haaland in the way that Arsenal are playing? No, because we do not create that many chances just for the striker. We use a lot more of people coming in deep, making wingers run in, and like how Barca used to play. But in the combined 11 where you have Haaland available, would you drop him? Absolutely not. Like, it's Haaland.
I think just off of the run of games coming in, I don't think Haaland's been brilliant.
Okay, in recent times, Havertz has been a brilliant player. Like, he's either assisted or scored or the red card that how Konate got in the Premier League. Like, he's always been that factor who's doing really well. Out of form, with form. But
it's just hard to look past Haaland.
Exactly.
Let's just stay with Haaland. I think that's a fairly reasonable combined 11, isn't it?
Well, that's the episode, guys. Do let us know in the comment section about your combined 11. Who do you think Arsenal should fear? Who do you think City should fear in the Arsenal team as well? And more episodes like this soon, and probably new locations as well. I'm in Qatar with him. After almost a decade, we have connected, and it's been
next
really
episode is probably going to be
the UCL one.
Post-UCL. That's probably going to be when I'm back in Manchester. So.
Oh yeah. Probably we'll make another episode once the game has been done against City. We do not know. We will have to see how things go.
Definitely. And I guess before we forget, did we do predictions?
No. That's a really important thing. Predictions. Since we're traveling to the Etihad, that's the only thing that I do not feel very confident about. Though we're in very, very good form. If we get a result, I think a draw, that will be a huge moral boost for the team. But if we win, just watch me beat them.
Is a draw the result you are predicting, though?
At heart, yeah. At heart, I'm genuinely predicting.
So you're going for a draw? 1-1, 2-0?
It's a draw.
Okay. I think you're sticking to your predictions. I might seem a bit biased here, but people might not think so, but I think Etihad's been a fortress for a long time.
Exactly. Many people do not even think that because they still say that...
Because the obvious jokes around it, but I don't quite get it because we've been really good at the Etihad. And
my team has struggled to score a goal against you guys at the Etihad. So I genuinely think Etihad is a fortress. You can make jokes or whatever you want.
Definitely, and I think I agree around some of the conversations around not being up to it, and I've been there, so I know because I'm screaming that to the top of my lungs, and some people are just casually taking a break or having a hot dog or whatever they want. Because their food is great at the stadium. Don't get me wrong, it is quite great actually. But will I not support my team instead? No, I will support my team. So I guess I am going for 3-1 C.
3-1 City.
At home, yes. If this was at Emirates, draw was probably what I would switch it up, but it's at home.
If at Emirates, don't get me wrong, with the form that we're in, I would have predicted a win for Arsenal. But since we're going to the Etihad, we have no good history there in the recent times. And like I said, you guys are a fortress. Like, yeah, you guys are not doing that well or clicking well as a team, but it's a draw. It's a draw for me. If we win, watch me go insane. Watch me go insane, and I will not give two shits. We might lose the title in the end. I have to give two shits, but we're winning at the Emirates. At the Etihad, it's probably going to be the highlight of the season for me. So yeah,
it's gonna be a great game at the end of the day. But I'm going for 3-1 City. Going for whatever score draw.
It's a draw. I just hope it's not like another boring game like in the Community Shield.
It probably will be, but I think because City kind of have to get a result. They might not be that passive.
Oh yeah, City have to get a result to get back on top.
Yeah.
Arsenal need to win so that they can still remain at the top.
Liverpool don't win the next one. But yeah, anything can happen in this title race, and hopefully there's a lot more videos to come on many different topics. Hopefully about the Euros at some point. And if you're into cricket, maybe we can do that about that, because we're still strongly into cricket.
I'm definitely going to talk about in this title.
Yeah, I guess so. If anything that works. Euros, definitely. I think we can definitely give that a go. But yeah, thank you everyone, and nice to be on your channel.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. Do like, do comment, and do subscribe to the channel as we are hitting that 500 subscribers, hopefully by the end of